Does budgeting really work? Budgeting to a lot of people is a four-letter word, and part of the reason of that is budgeting makes us think that we have to cut back on the things that we really want. My name is Matt with Highline Financial Coaching, and I'm excited to talk to you about this topic because I can tell you that there's been many times in my life that I felt that budgeting was a horrible thing, and it was a four-letter word pretty much that I never wanted to hear again. And at Highline Financial Coaching, we've coached thousands of people with budgets and with savings and figuring out the banking system and how to invest. And I can tell you, with anybody that I meet with, budgeting is it's a huge benefit. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of some crazy, ridiculous budgets that you're probably not going to follow. And they're probably the ones you're thinking of right now if you're going, oh, goodness, is he talking about budgeting? So there have been a lot of people that I worked with that have had crazy budgets that, to be honest, I don't really think they're going to work. I think part of a successful budget is making it useful to you and also making it as simple as you possibly can. So I've had people hand me a whole spreadsheet that's got everything divided up into separate categories, like the different types of groceries. How many vegetables did you buy? What was your budget there? How much cooking goods? How much household? And that can be daunting and overwhelming. Now, if that's how you do it, that's fine. It's, again, part of having a successful budget is making it one that you can utilize and the one that you're going to stick with. The best budget that you can have is the one you're going to stick with. But today, I'm going to talk about a very simple budget, and one that I had to do to be able to follow it. So, again, if you feel like it's a very tedious task, listen in here on some tips and tricks that have helped me and helped many of the clients that we have. So, overall, there are only a few items that are variable in your budget. So if you've got a car payment, a house payment, those type of things, most of the time those are not variable. Gas bill, electric bill, even though those go up and down monthly, there's not a whole lot that you can do to increase or decrease those expenses. So, I mean, if you leave your AC on all day, all night, all through the summer, winter, whatever, yeah, you're going to see a very high bill. But overall, if you're living a typical life, you're not going to see big influxes with those. And if you do, that's where you want to call those companies and see if there's something going on. So if you have an extremely high water bill, you probably have a leak somewhere. So that's a good time. Every month, you want to just review those and make sure that you're not spending more than you should. Now, the things that are variable and the things that go up and down every single month are typically your groceries, the fuel for your vehicle, eating out, entertainment, and your miscellaneous budget. So miscellaneous is going to be anything that doesn't fit into those other categories that isn't a monthly expense. A monthly expense is anything that has a due date on it when you have to pay. Anything else can fit into these variable expenses. So again, those 5 items were gas, groceries, eating out, entertainment, and miscellaneous. So go ahead and figure out what each of those 5 budgeting items is. If you spend $1,500 a month in groceries, now in groceries, I typically count anything that I use for my house. That's household items. If you're going to the hardware store, going to the gardening store, whatever those are, if they can be groceries and household or even clothing, I throw them into that category. Now, you can break those out. If you notice that you overspend in clothing all the time, separate that into a different category so that you can track it and make sure that you're spending accordingly. Maybe give yourself a very limited budget on certain months, and then if you have big activities that you want to buy more clothing for, make sure you've got a little bit of a reserve to buy those things. So now, when you make this budget, I want you to make it based on what you're currently doing. Don't cut back yet. Now, when you make that budget and you see how much money is going out and then you see how much is going in, if you've got a lot more money coming in than is going out, then you don't have to be as restrictive. But if when you do your budget and you realize that you're overspending significantly, that's where we need to cut back. Now, with a budget, if you cut back on all the items that you really like, if Starbucks is what keeps you awake and keeps you going during the day, don't cut that first thing. Maybe down the road, you can swap one of those out for a drink you bring from home or something you get at the office. So there's other ways to cut back on that. But again, do not cut out the things that you enjoy the most. Find the things that are unnecessary. Now, a lot of the things, I'm going to give you a few of them that are extremely unnecessary, and companies prey on people and hope that they don't notice it. You notice that you pay for a lot of subscriptions. A ton of subscriptions accumulate over and over. Today, I had a client that figured out that she is spending $600 a year on subscriptions that she's never going to use. So by eliminating those subscriptions that she's never going to use, she just freed up enough money to pay for a portion of a vacation that she wants to go on. That was an extremely easy way to help pay for a vacation without changing anything that she was doing in her everyday life. So there are ways to help fund the things you want to do and cut back on the things that you're not doing right now. Now, a few of them, if you look at your apps that you are using, APPS, your apps on your phone, see how many you're being charged. I get the email from Apple about the different apps that I'm being charged, and there's a few times where I look at it and went, where on earth did that come from? And I can tell you those are very well hidden. They make it very difficult to find where you buy them because you can buy them in multiple locations. You can buy them right from the App Store. You can buy them from the website of the company that you're looking into. And a family of ours, those apps can get very well hidden. I didn't realize I was paying for Audible for 5 months because I didn't actually click the button that said sign up for Audible. I clicked on one of my credits that I had already paid for about a year before, and it automatically renewed me to keep getting signed up again. So I had to shut that off. That was $17-18 a month. Now, cutting that out was great. One, because it only gave me one book a month. There are other apps that gave me much better books and much better options if I wanted more of those. So again, that was one I had to get rid of. I loved the books. I just needed more than one a month. So I found some other ones that worked for me. Also, your Amazon account. Have you ever noticed how much you can sign up for Amazon? Right now, it drives me crazy because they have a certain price on Amazon, but that's if you do a reoccurring purchase, and it comes every single month. Well, some of the things I order, I don't need every month. I don't even need them every year, and I don't want to get them until I reorder them. Companies thrive, especially the MLM companies. There are a lot of the grocery stores now, a lot of the beauty supplies, beauty stores. They like you on a reoccurring payment because it automatically comes into their account. We were on a dog food reoccurring payment, and it drove me crazy. I had a 1.5 year supply of dog food because they thought my little 9-pound golden doodle ate a full bag every single month. Well, she ate a full bag every 3 months. So one box almost lasted me a whole year of this dog food. So we had to cut back on it. And once we shut it down, it took us about 1.5 years to use up all that food for our dog. So look at those things. If they're reoccurring, they happen a lot, cut back on them. Again, make this very simple. Now, those 5 items I talked about, your groceries, gas, entertainment, eating out, miscellaneous, put those all together. And then if you really want to get a accurate number, divide it by how many days are in the month. So divide it by 28, 30, or 31, depending on the month of the year. And then times that by 7, and that shows you what a weekly budget is. Or just divide that total number by about 4.2, somewhere in there, and that gives you a rough idea. That is the one number you want to keep track of. That's all. Some weeks you're going to spend more in gas. Some weeks you're going to spend more in groceries. If you go to Costco one week, you're going to have a much higher grocery budget than you would the other week. So that is an easy way to find a budget and start tracking it. To start tracking it, now don't spend all your time tracking it or you're going to go insane. I have people I know that will track their bank account 4 or 5 times a day. You don't have to. You can do it. Some people do it once a month, some people once a week. Or if you want to do it every day, take a couple minutes at the end of the day, just look through it, make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary. And that's an easy way to track it, because if you don't track it, it's very easy to spend everything that you have in that bank account. So hopefully this was helpful for budgeting. I do agree with budgeting. It definitely is a way to help you improve your finances, and it's very easy. My name is Matt with Highline Financial Coaching. If you like our video, please subscribe. We'd love to hear your feedback on how you have made budgeting successful in your lives. Thank you. Have a great night.